Hello, party people. I know I never really talked about like all the events that led up to me leaving Vegas. I used to live in Vegas for those that don't know. So I was working at like a retail giant at the time, right? And in my field, I would service write a lot. I write up the orders. They tell me what they want. I put it into the machine, and the machine eventually prints out a report. Now, I use the same script that I rehearse over and over and over because I knew it worked. And over time, I made it better and better by trying new and different things until I felt like, generally I had a good grasp of what I needed to say to upsell and all that shit. When I changed positions still in the same department, I would still do the previous job because, quite frankly, they knew I was good at it. They knew my stellar record at the retail giant in this city, for example. We're on the East Coast now. I was in Vegas. Up until a certain point, flawless record. No warnings, no write-ups, nothing. And that's when I was offered a position doing security, loss prevention at a different location. And I had like 1 or 2 days till I would, like have to officially sign, I guess, for a new position. And I was written up a day before I would have started the loss prevention job. And it's not so much that, although that did hurt a bit. I don't want to say it's entirely this person's blame, but if he just never said something or did it in a less malicious manner, yes, I said malicious, then maybe things would have been different. When I was written up, I realized that the higher ups didn't trust me, and quite frankly, I didn't trust them anymore. And I sort of decided to change departments because I just, maybe it was burnout or something, I don't know, or maybe I was bored. But so this is what happened. A customer came to, get some services done to their vehicle. I go through my whole script, this tone of voice, filling out the little handheld thing, and eventually print out a report when everything's done. And the customer reported me to a manager saying I was rude to him, which I was not. If anything, I was monotonous to him. I expressed no emotion. I was just there to do my job, and that's it. And quite frankly, I think I did it pretty well. So if he had just never have done that, who knows? I might still be in Vegas. Like, I had a flawless record, and out of nowhere comes a write-up. So I asked if there were cameras around and if they picked up audio and they could, hear exactly what I was saying, see exactly what I was doing, both not out of the ordinary. both scripted. That's the way I learn things, is via a script, and I know it works via a script. So, my question of whether there was audio or not was never really answered. And they decided to trust the random customer versus someone with a flawless record who've been working for the company for how many years. And at that point, it was just like, it was the trust was lost. Like at this particular time, I wasn't emotional or anything. It was just like, so you guys are taking his word over me. Him being a customer, me being an employee. And the whole thing was just, I didn't really get an answer. And I wouldn't say it was necessarily unfair. It was unexpected. It was demeaning. And quite frankly, it was disrespectful. In the store, the retail giant is in this hometown, if you can call it a hometown here. I never got in any trouble. So I had a secret shopper come in, and they did score my performance. I believe I scored a 96 out of 100. And at the time, it was the third highest secret shopper score in company history. Third highest. The other two, the first two were like at home office or some shit like that. I basically, quote unquote, won the entire store a pizza party. A pizza party. Because of me. I mean, I just didn't think it would do a complete 180 when I got to Vegas. And what the thing that really bothered me was not just how my life would have been different had that customer just chill the fuck out. Like, cause he didn't say anything to me. He waited till he talked to the managers to claim I was being rude, even though he didn't express any negative emotion towards me as I was doing the order. I don't know if he was having a bad morning and needed to take it out on someone. I don't know why he couldn't just approach me and be like, you know, hey, I think you're being rude. I'm like, no, I'm not. This is what I say over and over. I wouldn't mind telling him that. Was that this is what I say. If you don't want to answer the questions, we could just leave part of it blank. And if you want this for your services or that, just let me know. That's what I would say in response. And I never got the chance to say that. Because this guy apparently had it out for me that I was rude to him. Past, present, and future. You can ask anyone. Generally, I'm a pretty easygoing person. You can ask coworkers. A lot of times I keep to myself. When I go to work, especially a new job, I tell them this. I'm here to put in my hours. I'm not here to date anyone. I'm not here to hang out as friends. Like, if we do, that's great, whatever. But it's not necessary for me to do my job. I put my hours in and I go home. The next day, do the same thing over and over. I don't have a problem with that. And I thought that would translate to some sort of trust, some sort of job security that I thought I had. The craziest part was that Like, I guess one of the managers, assistant managers, was going to a different location, and I this, I didn't hear about it, but I guess other people heard about it, and she was just saying bye to everyone. My assistant manager at the time, the one that wrote me up, and I didn't know she was leaving. She said hi to me. I just said I think I went like that, and she said hi, and I I kind of looked back for a second, and she kind of, it almost looked like she was hurt, and I'm just like, I'm not the one that wrote you up. Why are you feeling hurt? You know, like, I didn't see how her hurt feelings were justified by me just saying hi. I guess I was supposed to say, had I known, I was supposed to say, oh, good luck at your new place. Was I supposed to say that? Would that have been professional? I don't fucking know. If that customer didn't say what he said, my entire life would be different. And I thought that the new philosophy was the customer is not always right. You show the customer why you're right. And you educate them and you inform them. I don't know. Maybe I have a different outlook on retail in general. I don't know. But to disrespect me like that, I'm not sure whether it's that customer's fault or the higher ups that didn't think I was qualified to do my job. I guess they thought I slipped, and maybe I was in a bad mood this morning or that morning. No, nothing happened. It was just another day in the office. And then it turned out not to be. Because one day before I started the loss prevention position at a different location, I was written up. And you can't be hired at a different location if you have a write-up on your record. It takes like 6 months to go away, something like that. So what was I supposed to do? Wait 6 months? Just pop up after 6 months. Hey, you still have the position open? Yeah, I was written up the day before, so I couldn't join you guys at this location. And that is how, through a course of events, in my opinion, my life was changed for the worse. That's my opinion on it. It was just like a domino effect. And I think I was feeling better about being burnt out. So, like, you know, getting my my good spirits back, you know, like, not necessarily having fun, but having things go right, like a well-oiled machine. And when I got written up, I just completely burned out. I was using all my vacation time, using all my sick time. I just didn't want to be there anymore because they proved to me that they trust the customer more than they trust me. I don't know. I don't know who to blame in that situation, but I know I'm not to blame. Yet I was being treated like I was to blame. And I just never got over that until I, left that position, left Vegas. What would have happened if I stayed in Vegas? I'll never know. What if, right? What if? Take care of yourselves and each other, guys.